you guys to our local phenology leader monthly call, September 15th, 2023. Thank you guys for being so patient with me with the August call that I wasn't quite able to make as much as I wanted to. But I appreciate everyone being here today. I guess we'll start around with a little round of introductions. So we'll just a little bit, what's your name? Where are you from? What organization are you with? And you could tell us a little bit, if you've got a local phenology program, you could tell us a little bit about it. And then also maybe something, because we meet once a month. So what's a notable seasonal change event, in some of your plants and animals around you? And it doesn't have to be something you recorded, but just something that's exciting that's happened in September that you've seen. So just I'll start, but my name is Samantha Brewer. I'm the volunteer engagement coordinator here for the USA-NPN. I use she, her pronouns. I'm here in Tucson, Arizona. Our big phenology thing is we've gotten a lot of rains recently and all the plants are just going crazy. And so I've been going out and trying to identify more plants and grasses and things that have been popping up. And I'm still not good at grasses, but there are a lot of really cool flowers out there. That's been really fun to see. Today I found a hackberry there's a hackberry plant, and I'm trying to learn how to do cuttings. So I am hopefully going to get a free hackberry bush, or I got a branch. Let's see if I can grow a plant from it. Erin, I'll go ahead and have you go next, and then we'll move around.
Yeah, I'm Erin Postumus. I'm the outreach coordinator for the NPN, also in Tucson, working with Samantha. And something that has been exciting that I've been seeing is some of you might be aware of one of our campaigns is called Flowers for Bats, and it documents the agaves and columnar cacti flowering that are used by the lesser long-nosed bat. And in the fall, sometimes we get bats come around to drink from our hummingbird feeder, and they just showed up last week. They usually try to fuel up on sugar water before they head back south on their migration. So it's been fun. They drain the hummingbird feeder in one night, and then you see them swooping around the yard. So it's been really exciting. But I'll pass it over to Michelle.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm Michelle Peters, and I'm with the UC Environmental Stewards in California. I'm based in Davis, but I work out of a variety of different counties, including El Dorado and Placer County. I don't know, our program is basically the California version of the Naturalist program. So we have the California Naturalist program, and we also have the Climate Stewards program, which is a really wonderful curriculum that both of those are taught through our partner organizations throughout the state. So I have partners all over Northern California, and I'm working on cooperations, getting our programs into the California Conservation Corps, things like that. So merging more partnerships for workforce development and environmental stewardship. So it's a really fun job. I just started it. I could talk about it forever. But I'm so happy to be here today. I had to move another meeting over to be able to be here. And we live in Oak Woodland ecosystem here. It's the foothills just outside of the Great Valley before you get into the Sierra Nevada mountains. And so we have black oak, live oak, blue oak, and a lot of acorns are happening right now. A lot of squirrel activity, like granaries are happening with birds, things like that. Oh, excuse me, I'll pass it over to Sarah.
Hello, everyone. I was telling some folks earlier, I'm crashing this entirely. I am a little public librarian in Noble, Oklahoma. We have a little community here, very small, maybe like 6,000 people, but we're very interested in environmental quality, a lot of agriculture around, and a lot of small homesteads around. So interested in getting outside and also supporting the quality of the environment. So I've had a lot of folks interested in citizen science programs. Here we've had some drought monitoring programs already that were really successful, where we were able to give out some rain gauges and show folks how to report their distinct rainfall. And yeah, I'm looking at I've been taking the Nature's Notebook training, and I'm thinking about having a series in the spring to support the time to restore. Yes, yeah, yeah. And yeah, so wanting to get as many people as I can signed up for that and giving away. We're just showering everyone with seeds for all that. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out ways to, you know, marry all of that and put that out in the spring. So that's mostly why I'm here, just to gather information and resources like a library person does. Thank you for having me. Let me know if I could answer any library questions.
Well, thank you for crashing. Yeah, I'll ask more. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and pass it to the next person.
Oh, sure. I'll pass it to Amanda.
So I am Amanda Wanless. I am with a small nonprofit called Indiana Phenology in Indiana, and we do all things phenology. We've been getting into iNaturalist and kind of putting the two together, the two different data sources, and that's been a lot of fun. I've got all my iNaturalist screens and data up right now. I've been analyzing that, and that's a lot of fun. But something cool that we've been doing recently is training teachers to participate. And so this week and also next week, I'm doing presentations at this junior high, essentially, nearby. And so by the time I'm done, I will have trained all 13 of their science teachers on how to participate in Nature's Notebook at their school. And so they've got a couple of different trails, and I'm super excited about getting them up and running and excited about it, because they've got like a nature preserve and a river in their, right bordering their school grounds. They've got goats and chickens, and they're into all sorts of things. So that's the big thing I'm working on right now. As far as phenology that's happening, fall is starting, the leaves are changing colors. So the hackberries, I don't know if that's the same one that you have out there, but that's the first one that changed color this year, and the maples are just getting started, and the acorns are raining down, and it's my favorite time of year. And I guess I will pass it to Gabe.
Hi, everybody. My name's Gail, even though it's Laura Gail, but I'm with the Gulf Coast Phenology Trail, and we are located now in Alabama. We've just added a new partner, Weeks Bay National near, and that's right on the coast of Alabama. And so we go all the way to Louisiana. We have about 13 partners now. What's going on with our area as far as phenology? And my front yard's kind of amazing right now. We've had a drought this summer. It's been very hot here in Mississippi, and we've had a little rain lately, and the mushrooms have just popped out, big ones in my yard. And I didn't see them because they're growing out through some vines. So it's just been a great thing to see. One week it was, I'm not sure which ones they were, but they were the large white ones. And this week we've got different ones with gills. So it's been just a surprise seeing them pop up. So I've been doing this for about 6 years, and we just keep adding sites, and we're adding some new plants. So I'm just glad to meet all of you. It's always fun to meet folks. So thank you.
Well, thank you, all of us, or all of you for joining us. I don't know if it's probably not the same hackberry. Amanda, I think this one's it was called a spiny or desert hackberry. I just don't know the plants well enough. But I do know that our Arizona desert plants are very weird, so it is probably. But yeah, I'm glad that yours are changing colors though. All right, so this week I know I've talked before, and especially like Michelle, because you were in the course earlier this year. I've talked a lot about we've been working on this new website for a while now, right? And we're finally it's getting cleaned up. We're getting it ready to be able to launch. But it's always, as many of you probably know, when you're envisioning how easy and wonderful life's going to be, right? And you're designing things, but making sure it's actually as, you know, intuitive that we want it to be. And when we were designing this and planning this, we wanted to give you guys more like autonomy with your programs, and like having a landing page where like you could bring people and have your resources for your volunteers, and accessibility, and just being able to manage your program, and like program for those of you who are experienced, but also for those of you who are new, being able to manage like your users and your data, and being able to find the things you need just really cleanly and easily, so that you can communicate all the wonderful things that you're doing to all of your volunteers and students. So what we're gonna do today then is we're gonna look at the new site. And so I'm recording this and everything, and so the site that I'm going to give you guys, like, please don't visit it outside of this, just because it is still a work in progress. And if we have too many people visiting it at once, it just causes problems with all the data that we're trying to do. And sometimes it might be turned off, or sometimes it might be turned on. But I'm going to share with you guys, and I've shared this before, but I'm sure not all of you have seen it. I'm gonna put in, whoops. Mostly what we're trying to get for today is you guys getting to try out some of that new functionality of the landing page for your program, and can you edit it, and can you find the visualization tools, and the resources and everything else that you guys will need, so that you have what you need to do a successful program. So I put a link in the chat, and you guys can go ahead and click on that. And Sarah, I know you don't have a program, but while we do this activity, like if you want to hang out with us and chat with us, we can totally do that. But this is the new map showing where the local phonology programs are. And I know I'm not sharing my screen with this, but give me a thumbs up if you guys were able to access that okay from the link that I put in the chat. All right, excellent. The green circles are the programs that are active, that we have like actively contributing data, or at least have in the past year. The gray ones are previous programs, and we wanted to keep them on there. Programs that might not be active so much or haven't contributed data for a while, but we want those on there because so that people can see, like, you know, there have been programs around the area. Sometimes people want to bring them back, or be able to see some of the data that they'd collected previously. So the gray ones are the programs that aren't active. And I'm going to have, what we're going to do then is, I just wanted you guys to check out that map because it is it's pretty exciting one that we've added. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you guys into your very own breakout rooms. You know, I love breakout rooms, and sometimes I put you all together, but this time you're going to have your own individual breakout rooms, just so that we're not staring at each other while you guys are like exploring this website, because I can't stand that. But you'll have your own breakout rooms where you'll I put in a link for a survey. It's not really a survey, but just more of kind of a scavenger hunty thing, of where I tried to identify things that generally local phonology leaders need to run their program, and just making sure that you guys can start at that map and find that. I want to add on there, if you're a fairly new program, you might not see your program on the map, but you should be able to still search it. If at the top it says search by name, you can usually find you should be able to find your program by name. If it's not, and that's just because while we're doing this, like, it's not completely up to date with all the data. Also, just so you know, like, as part of this activity, it says, like, you know, see if you can edit things or edit your users or anything like that. Any edits that you make are not going to stay. So you can put silly things in your edits just to try it out. It's not going to be permanent. Nothing that you do on here is actually going to affect the information that's on your program, just because this is still in like testing it mode. But what we'll do is I'll put you in the groups. I'll let you go I'll probably check in with you guys in 10 minutes, because I don't know how long exactly this will take, but I'll check in with you guys in 10 minutes. And see what you think, but feel free to put in any comments that you want to. We're just gonna feel of, are you able to find this information intuitively or not? So I'll go ahead. Oh, yep, Michelle, please.
Oh, I just wanted to say that I tried to open that Google Forms page, and it says I need permission.
Oh, geez. Okay, hold on. Let me try that again then. Link. shorten the URL. Because that might be because it wasn't the actual like sending link. Let me try again. See if this one will work. And if not, then request the permission and I'll give you all the permission. It'll send it to my email. Did that one get it okay?
No, and it
Oh.
doesn't give me an option to request permission.
Really?
We
Okay.
just need to go in and change the permission on the form.
Yeah. All right. Let me
Yeah, it
see.
might default to just NPN users.
Oh, that's right. I
So
forgot. that
yeah, I can't do it in the settings on mine, it looks like, but
Okay, let me see if I can find that then. Sorry, you guys. I always forget that. Let's see. Permission. Why can't I do that? Oh, settings. There it is. It's that settings name. No. No. Do not collect. Restricted. There it is. Okay. See if that works now. I don't know if I'd have to redo the link. All right. Perfect. Okay. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Thanks y'all for your patience. All right. I'll go ahead and make the breakout rooms. You guys can come back. Erin and I will be hanging out here. So if you have any questions, just like pop back out here. And then that's fine. And yeah, Sarah, like I know you don't even like have a program or anything like that, but yeah, just hang out here and chat with us. We'd love to chat with you about our program and things that we can do. So I'm gonna do 4 breakouts. And there we go. And I'll open the room. So now you guys should be able to go in those rooms. But yeah, I'll see you at 10:32. I'll check in with you guys and see how you're doing. Yeah. Yeah, so Sarah, we're in this like transition phase right now where we're updating our websites to
Always fun.
and it's such a beast. There's always just so many little things.
Truly.
Yeah.
been a long road.
How did you hear about us though? This is so cool. Like, and I don't mind you crashing at all, but yeah,
Oh, thank you.
love to
Thank
learn more.
you.
Yeah, you're absolutely welcome.
I'm trying to think. I just, I'm on the internet incessantly. And I've been looking for a while. I think a few years ago, I started with some citizen science in the library with NASA, and doing some mosquito habitat mapping. That was kind of my first toe dip into it, and I was hooked and loved it, and my communities continue to love it. So I just keep looking for stuff, and I have a little spot, just me and my husband, that we're trying to kind of Restore is too structured for what we have time for and energy for, but we're trying to help it out a little bit, as we can. So I was looking at Nature's Notebook for kind of doing stuff like that and trying to learn, native plants, just stuff in the area. And we moved out into the country just a couple years ago, and I feel like I just like met nature for the first time, and it's been like it's just awesome. And I want that for everyone in my community, and I think that they want it too. And as much as we can help the pollinators and all the wildlife around here, people are around it, and I think they see it, they care about it, and they see how we're connected, So yeah, I think I just trying to think. I've also loved iNaturalist. I've used that for years, and it just gets better and better. That's been so helpful. I don't know if I would have been able to get as far into this without getting discouraged if it wasn't for that app, basically. So yeah, huge shout out to iNaturalist. But yeah, just kind of being in those circles, I think I was probably looking for, I don't remember how I stumbled on Nature's Notebook. But yeah, been kind of trying to gather more and more of that knowledge as I can, and then found Time to Restore, which is our Site Starter. That's where I found it.
Cool.
Yeah. Just looking for citizen science campaigns, then found, I think, Time to Restore because it's our region. And then through that found Nature's Notebook. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, still very new here. An enthusiastic fledgling, but
So awesome. So you're saying that you're thinking about doing something in the spring, and you mentioned something about seeds. Did you say that you have some
yes.
seeds for distributing?
Yeah, we've ordered the ones that are on the poster that I could find.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, we've ordered so much of those. I'm doing an outreach at the local farmers market on the 30th where we'll make native plant seed bombs with those.
Nice.
And then I'll also have how to sign up for Nature's Notebook, information about that, what Time to Restore is doing, see if there's interest there. But I think the farmers market will be the place to be for that. So we'll see, as long as the internet, behaves.
That is awesome. I wanted to make sure you know about, I always mention the Tribal Alliance for Pollinators whenever I talk to someone in Oklahoma. Do you know about that group? Because they have a ton of seed resources. So they have like webinars and stuff on the website. And so they might have some specific recommendations for like germinating plants too.
Awesome. Okay.
But so we have kind of like state coordinators for the Time to Restore project, and Jane Breckenridge, who's leading TAP, she's the person who's our contact there. So yeah.
Awesome.
So you probably already know about their website, but yeah, I think they have some really great training webinars and stuff on there.
Yes, I have attended a few of their webinars, and I've looked at their resources and stuff, and their seed resources. I don't have any tribal affiliation personally, and I'm not sure. I guess that would be a question that I would have and ask them, how, like, to what extent they would want to work with. No, and Noble is just a government institute, like the library is just a county institution. So
yeah, I think a lot of their specific, like the equipment that they lend out is for tribes specifically, but I think all the online resources they have, Jane has said that they're happy to have people look at those, and then she's going to be doing some more trainings, not just with tribes, but other groups too next year. So it could be that you guys could collaborate on that as well.
I would love that. And I know we have had a few of their people. Dr. Hung has come out, and I think Brandon Gibson.
Oh yeah,
maybe.
Brandon's awesome. He knows everything about all. It's amazing.
Yes.
Just like rattles off all the names of all the plants and scientific names and
yeah. I think they've come out. Dr. Hung's come here to my branch in particular, and I think they've done some more stuff with the library as well. Cool. Yeah, I'd love to get in touch with Jane and see if we could do some. I love bringing in people to lead stuff as much as possible because they know more than I do. And I'm more of a facilitator than a leader, honestly. But
well, that's super important.
Yeah, it takes both, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I'll definitely I'll put you on our call list, and then
awesome.
Jane is almost always on those, and we can also connect outside of that too. But
great.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Thank you so much for finding Time to Restore and being interested in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, it's in here.
Awesome.
So tell me about. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, have you? And I don't know by any chance, did you hear about our local phenology leader certification course too? Like while you were looking around?
Yeah, I looked a little bit at that, and I wondered if we're supporting Time to Restore, is it still helpful to have like a local phenology project, distinct but subsidiary? I don't know. Yeah, is that helpful?
Yeah, actually.
Okay.
So I do that course, and honestly, like I've had kind of libraries in my brain since the sit sci thing, and have been like it hasn't been a major thing on my list, but just something I ponder actually when I go to the library, like how could we like have this be something that we could work with libraries and that they could work with, the people who visit, because basically how our program works is, I'm glad you're familiar with iNaturalist, right? And actually I was using it this morning. That's why I identified that dang hackberry. So iNaturalist is so good because you can identify things and you can report what you're seeing. With Nature's Notebook, basically it's more of a site-based thing. So like I have actually my library, right? And let's say you have a pollinator garden. You guys plant a pollinator garden with time to restore plants, right? So what you guys can do then is, for that spot, if you go out once a week, or you can say like, yes, I see flowers. Yes, I see leaves. No, I don't see fruits, right? And then when you go next week, maybe now there's fruits and maybe there's not the flowers anymore. So you're going to the same plants through time regularly. And you're documenting, when did the flowers appear? When are there no flowers, right? And it is just like, do you see leaves? Yes or no? Do you see flowers? Yes or no? How many do you see approximately? And we give them big runs for that. And it would be great for a library, because especially if you've got volunteers, or if you want to bring people in and have them like, what do you notice about these plants? Or do you see leaves or flowers? And if we come back monthly and we talk about what we observe, and especially if you do a journaling thing, or like a phenology wheel, that they can even come back every month and do what are they doing?
Phenology wheel.
Oh yeah, look up phenology wheels, because you'll probably like that craft.
Awesome.
But yeah, with the course, I would teach you here's how to use Nature's Notebook, here's how to plan which plants you want to put in, here's how to manage your volunteers and plan, because if you document the plants and animals for 1 year, it's like, okay, that's interesting, but how do we know if climate change is shifting when they're blooming? You have to get at least 2 or more years. So I kind of help people, how do you plan a program so that you can do this for 2 or more years and keep it successful and attainable? Because sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing, I'm going to add 100 plants. And it's, oh no, I added 100 plants, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm collecting data on 100 plants and I made too much, right? So it's a 10-week course where I just kind of walk you through, how do you plan the program? How do you bring people in and talk to them? How do you train them, right? Because we do have specific protocols and how do you use this, and so you can train your volunteers of how to do it. So if you're interested in that, I still have it open, and I definitely still have spots. But if you want to do I know it's like a whole application process, but it tells you a little bit about what the course is.
Great.
And but yeah, I like, in a non-biased way, I used to not know what phenology was. That's how I got started, is I took the course and I didn't even know what the word meant. I was like, I told my boss, I was like, there's this phenology thing. I think this will do what we need for the pollinators. And I got hooked. So.
Oh, that's great. That's so encouraging. Yes, I would love to do that.
But yeah, thank you. I'll reach out to you too. And I'll let Michelle, because Michelle, you pop back in. How are you doing, Michelle? Do you have a question?
I am, well, I can get into let's see, what could I get into? I could get into, just on the main page. So, the, local phenology programs, I found my group by using the map. So I clicked on that. And then below I can see the details and data tabs and click on those. But there's a gray bar that says this LPP is marked as inactive. So when I did go into, where was I? I went somewhere else for a minute to see, where you can, the partner dashboard. And when I'm in there, I can't find my program on the drop down. So I think that maybe because it's inactive, I can't really do the stuff.
Yeah, that's probably right. I think it does have to be active in order for you to do the manage users and that kind of thing. But are you able to get into your observation deck at least? So the way to get there is if you go up to the Observe with Nature's Notebook menu at the top, and then there'll be a link kind of towards the top of an orange button that says Observation Deck. Because hopefully you'll still be able to get in there with your login, and then we can see.
I see. Thank you. Okay. Oh, and here's the funny thing. I'm on my work computer and my login is on my my other computer.
Oh,
I haven't transferred it over. So let me work on that for a minute.
okay.
Yeah, you all can focus on somebody else for a minute or something.
No, you're
Okay.
good. And yeah, and just so you know, your program is not actually inactive. It is just because there's that lag in data, like because it's not all the data connected, all your programs, even though your program's in there, the data that you guys have collected is not in there yet.
Yeah, I
Oh,
guess
okay.
I'm curious about that. So when was your program set up? Do you remember?
I think I put it in the system at like end of spring or summer, and then our first observation was June 6th.
Okay.
And we've been
I
observing and uploading every 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah. So I'm trying to remember, Jim, do you remember the criteria? Because I'm surprised that it shows up as inactive. I think we had set it so that if your program was created in the last year, even if you hadn't submitted data, it should show up, right? Because we want to make
That's
sure that
right, because yeah, it
so
should
it's a little
automatically be
surprising.
active when you set it up for a year.
Yeah. So what's the name of your specific LPP? I'll just make a note and we can check into it to make sure there's not a bug there.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
Actually, yeah, that
it's
is,
A
you're right, because that is super valuable then.
it's ARC Phenology Group,
Okay.
and it stands for the American River Conservancy.
Okay, cool.
Oh, and actually, I should check in with everyone else now because now I realize that it's talking to everyone. Broadcast. Um, So I let them know that we'll do 3 more minutes till like the four. I wanted to say 10:40, but time zones until the 40 mark, and then I'll bring them in either way.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the ARC profile and I see what she's talking about with it has the inactive message, but I can still see all the tabs.
Okay,
So,
like as an admin.
well, I don't know. I'm curious. I'd like to see if, well, there she is. Maybe she,
Do you want me to share my
yeah,
screen?
could you? That would be
Yeah.
awesome. I could see what it
Yeah,
looks
no
like in real time.
problem. Sure. I'm just going to log into my profile really quick. Sorry, I'm still working on opening my other computer. Both of my laptops, my work and personal laptops, don't have batteries that support themselves without being plugged in. So always dealing with that too.
Yeah,
And
now that I'm thinking about it, Sam, I wonder if you go from the map and you're not logged in yet, you might not be able to see any of those, the tabs that are only visible to administrators unless you had logged in first.
oh, that makes sense too.
So yeah, we'll see what other people say about whether they were able to get to like the members tab.
So maybe then in
I
future
don't,
ones, it would be a better idea for them to find it from, get them in the observation deck first.
yeah. But it's interesting to think about like that use case of like someone who doesn't go there first, who's not logged in, like should we have a login button on this LPP profile so that like a administrator doesn't have to go
Oh.
back to the observation deck and then here.
Yeah, just a button login, admin
Yeah,
login or something like that. Yeah,
yeah.
that's not a bad idea.
This is why we test. Because when we do it, we're always just logged in automatically.
And Sarah, just for a little context for like how local phenology programs work too, is like, yeah, so for time to restore, for example, like when we're trying to see like, when are these plants blooming or when are seeds going to be available. And so it's all citizen science or volunteer science collected data. So like at your library, if you guys planted a pollinator garden with those species, and all the data that you collect then goes to help those managers so that they can see when and where are these plants blooming and when. So
yeah, that's something I forgot to mention. We got a little grant to make a couple beds of learning garden. So one of those beds I've already dibsed. Yes, I definitely want this to be like a little base camp, and then they can like learn how to do it here and kind of keep it going here, but then also maybe do it as well wherever they're at, and in other places. I was thinking about maybe doing some stuff with local parks, but I'm not sure about that. We'll see. That might just be fun field trip excursion, and we'll see.
oh, absolutely. Right.
But thank you.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll reach out to you afterwards, and we can chat more. But I'll
Sounds
go
good.
ahead and I'll close the rooms. So I might have had a lot of things on them for them to do, but that's okay.
Okay, I can share my screen now if that's what you
Oh
guys
yeah,
want me
please
to
do. Yeah.
Okay. So it's loading. Okay, so I guess this is just showing me some things about it that I can look at later, maybe. Oh, I love how this is here. This is cool. Okay. Oh, I like this so much better. Okay. All right. So this is what you were hoping for me to see, was these different tabs.
So those you
that
can
right?
see too, but then if you go to observations also, go down. So there you see ARC, and down at the bottom it says their view profile page. I think because it's on Zoom, so it always takes like longer.
Yeah. And it's oh, there we go.
Yeah, so now you guys are gonna have,
Okay.
yeah.
So
do you see?
before you weren't seeing those tabs.
Correct. When I was not
Okay.
logged in, there was details and data, and that was it.
Okay.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So I could go to manage users and okay. Great. I don't know if this is the right time to ask questions about this or general
Nope,
stuff.
please do.
Okay. I had a question about when I was downloading data. It always has, download my data. So whether or not it's the ARC group or my personal site, it seems to download, like put them all together, or when I visualize them or any of that, it seems to kind of put them all together. And I was wondering if there's an easy way to just look at the ARC data, and also how do I do that when it's other people who have observed, but I just want to see the ARC, data. And maybe sometime you can show me how to do that. And I don't know if this is the right time.
I can show you how to do that on like the current site, and actually that is one of the things. I'm just really glad you
Okay.
asked that question, because that's
Okay.
one of the reasons why we did this one the way we did this one. So there was that data tab there. And so with that data tab, then you have the visualization for ARC, and you have
Okay.
like download the data. And that's why that data tab was available when you weren't logged in too, so
Okay.
that other people can visualize the data that you're doing, or your volunteers, if they want to be able to check it out. Everyone has access to a nice link to your guys's data and what you guys are doing.
Oh, okay. So just that link right there will do it, and it'll separate it from my data. Like the old one used to say download my data. And oh, yay. Okay. Thank you.
I love it. It's all right there. Yeah, it was an exciting one. From Amanda and Laura, then, like, I guess, I don't know if you had time to do, because like, yeah, I was just like, here are a bunch of things. I never have a great grasp of time. But what'd you guys think? Or did you come across any issues? Or yeah, love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, I'll jump in. I got through most of the stuff once I finally figured out how to log in, because it, would take me to a different page and then I wouldn't be logged in back on the one. But yeah, I figured that out, and that won't be a problem once it's actually live, right? The one issue I was having is when I was like on my holiday park group page, when I would go to the filtered data, or yeah, when I went, it was filtered by my other group and not by the holiday park one that I came from, because I have a whole bunch of groups that I manage. And then on the dashboard page, it was lovely that it was like automatically filtered for my group, except that the third dashboard wasn't filtered automatically by my group. It had, I forget, Claire's, O'Neill's group is the one that was filtered for that third one.
So I think that might be by chance. I think we might have picked Indiana Phenology for the first two. I don't think we have a way to have it automatically based on like the LPP that
That's too
you're
bad.
coming from set it. Yeah, it's an issue with the Tableau platform that we can't have it do that. So it's going to be something where you have to select each time, except for you, I guess, right now.
Just by random chance.
Just rotate through who gets to.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, I didn't realize it actually filtered that one filtered by.
It's for my backyard observers group. Another one. So I almost would find it more useful if it didn't have one that it defaulted to, because
Okay.
it takes a while for it to pop up.
Yeah.
That would be,
that's good feedback. I think we figured it would be useful to see something so you know like what the things look like, because otherwise it's like a blank page. But we can try it and see if it's better to just have it be blank.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see how sometimes you have to search and you can type in, but then you have to type in the exact name that's there, and it is kind of frustrating.
It's slow, but it's a super helpful dashboard, and nice that it's all right there, that I can just click straight to it. And the other thing that was kind of annoying, that everything opened up in a new tab, and I don't know if that was just me or that's something that you have it set to.
Yeah, that's useful to know too. We did that on purpose, mostly because if you're going to a page where, so it's kind of like this hidden thing that you guys can't see, but anything that's on the observation deck is actually part of a Java app, which is like different than our Drupal website. So anytime you're going to a page on the Drupal site, it opens in a new tab, because navigation is just like tricky. Because once you go back to the observation deck, you're automatically taken to that one homepage, and there's not like a way to have like a path through there. So we can keep thinking about a way to make that better, but it seemed like the best solution is to have it open in a new tab, but it's good to know that that's frustrating.
Yeah, I just ended up with like 20 different tabs open.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I really like it. I think it's user-friendly, easy to navigate, and so I'm excited.
Cool. That's great. Thank you so much. And I wanted to go back to the thing you said about the filter data. So you're talking about the phenology observation portal where you download an Excel file, right? And you said that it was an incorrect group.
Yeah, I think maybe it was the registered observers dashboard. So maybe it was all a dashboard issue.
Okay. I thought you had said also that when you did the filtered data, that it was the incorrect group.
Yeah, I think that I wrote it down wrong on my paper.
Okay, so, cool. That's
great.
And then, yeah, also with the Tableau, something that we're hoping to do in a second phase of the new website is actually have visualizations like that that are on Tableau, but have them be like right on your profile. And so that'll, on the data tab, that'll be like what's there is like, so you won't have to go and like select your group from the drop down and all that.
One final thing that I would find helpful is to have the group ID somewhere on that landing page. Because I find that useful, and I don't know if anybody else will, but when I have so many different groups, that's helpful to have right there handy.
Okay, cool. That's great.
Did you want me to speak now, Samantha? I didn't know. I was just having a little problem going back and forth too. And now that I know that Indiana was the default, I was going to bring that up as well. But glad to know that was that, because I was trying to find everything. But I did find just an error that it has my address for Gulf Islands. So we'll correct that one. Okay, not that it's a big deal, but I thought, boy, that looks familiar. When I hovered over the map, we've got so many sites that are so close to each other. When I clicked and I tried to move my cursor, I kept getting Gulf Islands like 4 times, and then I didn't get them all. So I think it's just because our sites are so close together, that might be an issue, and I don't know if that can be resolved. And if we have an inactive site, McLeod State Park is inactive, or county park, and so we probably need to just address that. But I don't know if you can just delete it or whatever you want to do. But it pops up easily from a site in Louisiana, then it goes right to McLeod State County Park. So that was just, but that's just on mine. I know we're talking about navigating, and so I was just kind of focused on my group. So I'm going to need a little more time to go back and play with it.
Yeah, feel free. Yeah,
Okay.
just don't share the link, and don't try to do anything like real
I
on it.
won't. I'm not that
But yeah,
clever.
feel free to take your time and explore. I know there's a lot on there. And we
Yeah.
welcome feedback on other pages too, if you want to take some time to go through some other stuff on there.
Okay, so I can review this after we get off the call and spend more time. Great. I just go to the link. You'll give me the
Yeah.
link. Okay. All right, great. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, yeah, all you guys, feel free after the call, if you just want to finish, if you want to finish the survey, that's great. If you don't, go ahead and submit it from where you're at, because we can still like definitely use that information. But please, any thoughts that you have, like we're not going to be able to make like, oh my gosh, every single major change, but especially when it's some of those things that we might not have thought about that we might want to talk about, like that's so helpful. And also, you're free to put whatever you want. Like, I'm just saying we won't necessarily be able to do everyone's suggestions. And yeah, these always, I could talk for hours. You guys all know this by now, but it's 10:52, and so I don't want to make sure I don't take up too much of your time. But in the time we have left, do you guys have general questions for us at all as well that we can answer? Anything that you may have noticed, or phase questions, or news website questions, we can answer what we can, but we would love to hear from you, or even if you just want to talk about like your amazing volunteers or any shout outs or anything like that.
I've got 2 questions. We were trying to get these teachers up and running and using Nature's Notebook, and they had joined on the app, and they got to clicking the button to say, connect and let Nature's Notebook talk to your app, and then it just like got stuck and never got to the next spot. They had to like uninstall the app a couple of times and reinstall it before it finally just randomly decided to work. There was one person who could never get it working on their iPad, never got past that spot. Any thoughts, any clues? Is that just us?
So I know the app, so with like transitioning everything with the website, we also have to transition everything with the app. And so knowing if you're those issues, actually, if you could, yes. I don't know if it's something that people are still having an issue with then, but it is unusual. I haven't gotten any emails about that specific issue. And especially when you have multiple people who are having it. What day did this happen? Oh, bye, Gail.
This was Wednesday.
It was Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard of a stalling issue, but I know that, it's that the process in the app when you're creating an account or even just logging in for the first time, you have to go onto the website. Basically, it like reroutes you onto a browser to like fill out the login or the registration. And then you get approved or logged in, and then there's like another button that says grant access, and that's the thing that when you click that, it takes you back into the app. At some point I've seen people think that like that was it, I'm logged in, and then they start doing stuff on the web browser on their phone, and then they're not on the app anymore, and that's really frustrating. So I think one thing we need to do is like make that more prominent, like enter the app instead of grant access. It's kind of like a jargony thing. So do you think that were the people clicking on that grant access for sure? Because if they had just waited there, that might have felt like it was
No,
stalling.
this was definitely back in the app.
Okay, it was in the app.
Yeah. I had that happen at a previous time this summer. We figured that one out.
Okay. So you granted access, you got that screen where it's like the blue bar going across the top, but
And
it
it
just
gets
never...
all the way to the end, and then
Okay.
nothing happens. It just gets stuck there. And
Okay.
it happened multiple people multiple times. Something else that I've been experiencing is that the browser or the app, when I flip to like take a picture with my phone and then go back to it, it kind of resets.
Okay.
And that's, minor, but it does do
I've
that.
noticed that too, yeah. And I think the long loading time, it might have to do with the slowness of databases on our end, and that's been something that we've had some issues with, even with the visualization tool. And so when there's like a lot of things pinging the servers, it gets like clogged up, and that can impact everything. So that could be an issue. We're hoping to resolve those things we're like moving everything to the cloud with the new website launch. So I think a lot of that lagginess should be resolved there. The reset thing, I've noticed that too. Like you just go to like take a picture of something and then go back in, and it's like, oh, you have to reload everything again. I know that's really frustrating. So yeah, we'll check in with the IT team on that.
Okay. When is the estimate on when the new website's going to be live?
I don't want to say for sure. We're saying October. Like it has to happen in October, and I'm hoping early October, but we'll see.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
And we're laughing because like there's so many times we're like, yes, it's gonna happen, and then like we're like, oh no, there's this thing with the data or the this, and there, but that's why we were able to do this today. It was like, no, like we're actually like,
yeah, it's actually the app now that they're focused on that, like making sure that all the like the migration of all the accounts is going to translate over to the app too, and that won't break anything. So that's like the final piece.
Are there any changes to like how you enter observations and the app? That's just all going to be the same?
That's going to be the same for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
But we have big plans to change that too. Hopefully that'll be like years out, but it's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, one piece at a time.
Yeah.
So I have a couple questions, but they're kind of particular to my program and how I'm accessing it. So I don't want to, if anyone else needs to talk about general things, I want to make sure to go last.
actually, that's one of the reasons why we have this time here too, is because sometimes I'm like, gosh, I don't remember, but someone else will be like, oh yeah, no, you do this thing, so no, please go for it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess first I want to address, like, I know you guys already know, but like if we'll become active somehow, and I don't know what that'll mean for us, like what will be different at that point, because I can see those things.
You should be now. It's just that it was basically like a snapshot we took over 3 months ago of the database to like do testing on it. So it's old. So if we had the snapshot up to today, you would be active on there.
Okay. Thanks. And then the other thing is I started my account at Nature's Notebook under my own, name and login, and then and established my own personal observation site, started observing, and then it was a couple months later that I added our group site. And essentially what I want to make sure I can do is kind of configure it a little bit differently, or you can tell me how that would work, where that I will be, our main arcphenology@gmail.com will be the email and admin for that. And then I will be an observer with data access privileges. How can I do that? Do I need to, how do I change that?
The way that I would change that, and Erin can correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but is I would with your like the official like Gmail, have them join, have that, you know, sign in, make a Nature's Notebook account with that official Gmail,
Okay.
join your program, your ARC program, and then you, Michelle, as an administrator, go to your manage users, and then you
Okay.
find that email and you click make admin, and then it has admin privileges, and then you can actually go
Okay.
and you can like unclick yourself. You know, you can go into the new website, you can actually unclick yourself as an admin if you really want to do that, if you're like, no, I really can't be an admin anymore. But yeah, you so basically, yeah, you just create an account with that email. You, Michelle,
Okay.
make it an admin, enter manage users, and then you can log in with that one, and it has all the admin privileges.
Ah, easy peasy. Thank you. That's
Yeah.
perfect. We do have another volunteer who's, because I do this as a volunteer. I mean, somehow I get to do it with work a little bit now, which is great. But most of my time spent with my phenology program is volunteer. We do have another volunteer who's feeling really good about data entry now. So I'm so excited. She's going to be our data person and take a little bit of responsibility off my plate. So that's really fun. So I think those were just all my questions for now.
And yeah, if you guys need to go now, it's 11 o'clock. So yeah, you know what? I'll close it up. I'll stop recording.